Hello everyone, very exciting to be here. I was just saying to Luke, 2019 I think was the last APJ that I attended face to face and we spoke at as well. And the scale with which this has grown out is really quite impressive. Both the growth in APJ customers, but also I think the support from Appian in the US and of course the growth in partners from around the globe. Really quite exciting. I was lucky enough to attend Appian World earlier this year. That's completely different scale, but the growth here at APJ is also really exciting to see as well. Okay, so I've been asked to share a little bit about our journey over the last almost 4 years with Appian, and I have to do that in 15 minutes. So I'm going to do that by trying to answer a few key questions about our Appian journey. So, first question, why Appian for our firm? Now, we MinterEllison, if you don't know us, we're Australia's largest law firm, headquartered here in Australia. And we're what we call a full service firm. What that means is that we do all areas of law except for family law and criminal law. So that means that we've got a wide variety of complex matter management requirements across the business, given those practices. When we say matter management, others would refer to it as case management. A matter is an engagement with a client. So when we have any one-off engagement with a client, we call a matter. We needed a matter management solution that was going to cover all of our areas of practice. We spent a lot of time looking at different legal technology solutions in the market. And if anybody in the legal space would know, there's a legal tech industry as such. There are a lot of offerings out there in the legal tech space. But there wasn't any one offering that would do everything for us. And if we wanted to try and have a matter management system that was going to service both our employees and our clients effectively, we were looking at a stack of solutions. And we didn't want that. We wanted something that was consistent. So for us, we needed something that was rich in functionality, that was flexible in terms of how we could build it, that had the scalability. And actually, from Matt's keynote this morning, Matt talked about convergence, which is not the term that I've used today. But that was really important. We thought with a legal tech stack, that convergence piece was going to be a real challenge. Now with Appian, we bring it all through the one platform. It allows us to do it. More investment, more commitment, but Appian was the choice for us. Okay, so reducing time. That's what this is all about. How do we reduce the amount of time that our lawyers spend perform a matter and deliver it to our clients? So there's a few different things. Beacon is what we branded the solution that we built on Appian. So it's all based on Appian. We just call it Beacon internally. And Beacon, no surprise to anybody here, obviously we capture the process of how our lawyers do their work. So process, very important. Sometimes getting lawyers to accept a process about how they perform their work is hard, but everything's got a process, right? Doesn't matter how bespoke it is, there's always an underlying process. So capturing that process was key. Again, in Matt's keynote, talked a lot about data and using data. That's difficult in legal because a lot of the work that our lawyers do isn't so system-based. What's really important, though, is know-how. So it's the knowledge of how the work is performed by our lawyers that we have to capture. Quite often that sits in the heads of our most senior lawyers across the business, and in order for junior people in the firm to perform their work, they need that input from our senior lawyers. So really important for us to capture that know-how, match it with the process, and build that into the platform. So no longer, or at least reduced, our younger, more junior people having to go to our senior people for that knowledge. It's all there married in with the process. That was really important in terms of time saving. For our lawyers to perform work, there are a number of key enterprise systems they need to engage with. So our document management system, iManage, very common in the legal space, is where obviously all of our legal work content is stored. So they need to engage with that platform. Elite 3E, that's our practice management system. That's all our financials captured around the work that we do, the cost involved, the time that our lawyers spend on matters, which is obviously very important. Other platforms like our proprietary conflict check database. So whenever we open a matter, we need to go through a very rigorous conflict check process. That's another platform that our users need to engage with in order to kick a matter off. And very importantly for us, in legal, obviously a major deliverable is content, knowledge and content. Content in the form of documents, whether it be agreements, whether it be contracts, and then of course just correspondence between parties. So we need to generate that content, and we do that through this platform called HotDocs, which is our document automation platform. With Beacon, Appian, We integrate all of these platforms into the Beacon interface. So no longer are we trying to expect our lawyers to jump between these systems in order to perform their work. They can access all of these systems through the Beacon interface. So it feels to an employee that they're only accessing one system to perform the work, rather than 4 or even more as we move into the future as well. Another really important time saving. So with Beacon, not only do our lawyers manage their matters in the platform, they also need to deliver to their clients through the platform. So obviously the process in the form of checklists to ensure that they've completed all the tasks that are required to perform their matters, and to generate documents out of the system that can also be delivered directly to clients through the system. And that might even be in the form of an email, but we generate the email in Beacon as a template, along with the documents that need to be delivered. The outputs coming out of the platform are really important. And then of course, surfacing that information to our clients. Now, yes, the deliverables are important, but also the expectation from our clients around transparency on matters and reporting is also very key. That also gets generated out of Beacon, and I'll speak a little bit more later around our client portal offering. Okay, improving the employee experience. I think that was mentioned this morning in Matt's keynote, I think also in the panel discussion as well. We can't implement process and ignore the employee experience, so it's important that we try to improve that as well. Really what it comes down to is this: ensuring that we have the right content service to the right person performing the necessary task on a matter at the right time in the life of that matter. This is the key underlying piece to everything. The right content, right person, right time. So this, and apologies for a little bit small, but this is an example of what we call a task list that we built in our Beacon platform. And a user would jump into the platform, maybe go to their dashboard first, or using the task tab, click on the task tab. This is their task list. And for that day, maybe you can see towards the right, there's a due date across those tasks. They're all listed in chronological order. There's a number of different matters that any user might be working on. All of their tasks are laid out so they know what they need to perform. Now, importantly, right content, right person, they click on that task, you dive into the task, the content they need to perform the task, the knowledge they need to perform that task is at their fingertips, and they can generate content through that task as well. So we have tasks which are purely about content generation. So again, right content, right person, right time, done through this. We also look at our supervisors. So we have senior lawyers that need to look after a team of lawyers when they deliver their work. How do they do that effectively? Great when they're all in the office, they can just walk around to all their teams and say, where are you at, where are you at, where are you at, where are you at? But not really feasible, particularly with what's happened with COVID and people working more remotely. Here, for a supervisor, they can run their own report, look at their portfolio of matters. So this, the previous screen was all listed by task, this is listed by matter. They can look at all of the matters that they're responsible for. They can see where the last task is at, when is it due, how much time has elapsed since the last task was completed. They've got that transparency of their portfolio through the platform. So that improves their experience as a supervisor as well. They feel more comfort that they have visibility around how their teams are performing. Of course, our clients are very important as well. Maybe I should stop moving around so much. Our clients need to get a benefit out of Beacon. So how do we do that? And I think this was mentioned, I think Bashka mentioned this in the panel discussion. I think he was talking about ultimately having the same screen for the employee and for the client. And this is what we've tried to achieve with Beacon. This first diagram here, this is just showing you, and this is US data, but it's relevant here in Australia as well, the growth of in-house legal teams. Yeah. Law firms, government, pretty stagnant, bit of growth there. Legal teams, huge. Now, what does that mean for us? The expectations from our clients are much higher. They expect more transparency. They want to see what's going on with their matters. They want to be able to touch their matters. They want to be involved in their matters, do the work with our lawyers. So we need a tool to do that. No longer can we do the work behind the scenes and just give them the invoice at the end of the month. They won't accept that. Yeah? So we need to figure out a way to do that. We do that through our Beacon client portal. And to Bashka's point, the way we do this is, yes, there was a little bit of development involved in creating the client portal platform, but essentially as soon as our lawyers update anything from a matter management perspective on the platform, that gets replicated into a client portal which our clients can access. So they can log in at any time, access their dashboard, access their matters, and see where things are at. Yeah? See if the portfolio is where it needs to be. See if the matters are up to date. Are the documents that I need there? The business has an expectation around the financials on this matter. I can run a report to see where the finances are at on this matter and how much it's costing me. Everything that a clients need, we try to give it to them at their fingertips without having to pick up the phone and call the lawyer or send an email to the lawyer and say, where is this at? Can you generate a report for me? Great benefit for the client. They can access this anytime, whenever they like. Also a benefit for us in that our lawyers, and if you know lawyers, this is time that they can't charge for, our lawyers aren't spending time having to generate reports for clients, send documents. They still do, but it's reduced through this. Clients are happy too because they can touch it themselves whenever they like without having to pick up that phone or write that email. So this is just giving you a sense of some of the reports that clients can access. Okay, in the 4.5 minutes I have left, the future of Beacon. This for me is the exciting bit. Don't get me wrong, Appian and the journey has been exciting the whole way through, but why I really get excited by this is, I guess, what's explained in this next slide. Our firm has been around for a long time, hundreds of years, and we have a very large and varied toolkit of solutions across the business. Now that sounds great, but it means that we have a lot of tools, and that's hard to manage, and to be honest, our users don't really like it. Yeah. Because as soon as you try and introduce a new technology, the response is often, oh, what, another new tool. So now I have to learn this. Now I have to jump in that tool to perform this matter. Great, thanks guys. The important thing with Beacon is this is about creating a central interface. Yeah? This one place that we can roll out new tools and new solutions to our lawyers without as much of an expectation around training. There's a familiarity with the interface because it surfaces in Beacon. Yeah? So this, as is represented on this side of the slide, on the right side, this helps us with our speed of transformation and our efficiency in transformation. The change management effort is lower, and the training is lower, and quite frankly, the resistance from the business is lower as well. Really important for us. So some of the things that we're looking at. This is just a selection, but for example, maybe the two at the top, centralized communication and document collaboration. Lawyers communicate with our clients, and as you would do in your businesses, a lot of that communication happens via email. Obviously by phone as well, in meetings, but there's a lot of communication via email, a lot of correspondence, a lot of documents. Now we try and reduce that in Beacon, given that our employees can surface documents directly to the client through the Beacon client portal, but we want to make that communication happen more effectively as well. So when it's matter related, we want to take that communication out of email, out of Outlook, and ensure that that can happen within the platform as well. When it's relevant to the matter. General communication, that's fine. Matter relevant communication, we want it to happen in the platform. So we're really focusing on how we can do that. What's the most effective way? Document collaboration, I mentioned clients like to touch their matters more now. You know, they want to be involved, they want to perform the work. They don't want to leave it all to external counsel. So when we're generating content, whether it be automated or otherwise, our clients want to interact with that and work with our legal teams, their teams with our legal teams to produce that content. So we want to be able to surface document collaboration capabilities. Now, a lot of you, you're probably looking at that going, well, that's simple, right? You can do that through Teams. Yeah? But there's a lot of challenges in legal as well. Security, we've talked about data breaches, all of those things. So legal is very risk averse. So we need to be very careful about how we go about doing this. Doing it effectively, there's issues around legal work product that we need to manage as well. So we're trying to achieve this through the platform. Again, one pane of glass. The RPA and open integration. So we already do a bit of RPA work internally in our firm, but we want to look at how we leverage RPA for that feed into the clients. And the open integration, great that we've got a client portal, but some clients say, well, we don't want to log into your portal. We want you to feed the information into our system. Yeah? So we need to look at how we can push that data out of our system directly into their system so that they don't have that need to log into ours. Now, sometimes those integrations aren't available, so we use RPA, and we've already got a use case with one client where we need to update their systems. We have a bot that does that update for us, so we don't have any of our admin people or lawyers doing any of that manual update. And then there's other areas, natural language processing, AI, machine learning, sentiment analysis. Clients need to instruct our lawyers to perform matters. Clients share documents with us that inform what needs to happen on a matter. To be able to process that through intelligent document processing into the system, categorize the documents, grab the essential data points from those documents, feed it into the matter management process. It's all about making it much smoother, much more efficient. So these are the things, it's a bit pipe dream in some ways, but these are the things that we really want to focus on, being able to do more. So again, doing it through that one pane of glass, centrally, making it less change effort, less resistance from our people, and making it happen sooner, really important that we can do that through Appian and through Beacon. So that's our 4-year story in 15 minutes. 1 second left. Of course, I can't take any questions, but of course, I'd love to talk to anybody if you're interested to understand more about what we've done on the platform over the last 4 years. Thanks very much for listening.